The evidence thus far suggests that in the first few minutes after death, consciousness is not annihilated. Whether it fades away afterwards, we do not know. But right after death, consciousness...
Alright, family. As you can see, we in here. You know, we ain't doing no fear mongering. You know what I'm talking about? If anything, we coming with good news. You know what I'm talking about? So let's talk about death, or what we think death really is. You know what I'm saying? So let's go, y'all.
is not lost.
Matter of fact, let me take a second to get everybody in. Take a second. Get everybody in. Let me see what they talking about. Let me see what they talking about. Pull up a chair. Come over here. Oh, yeah. But we about to break it all down. Feel me? We about to break bread right now. I got the game fucked up. For one, you know, for anybody out here that's feeling guilty, you know, just because of the things that's going on out here, you know what I'm saying? I come that you might have joy, you know what I'm saying? I come to bring some enlightenment to the situation. For a lot of us, you know, we have a unclear understanding of what death may be. And so I think it's gonna be important today that we get into, you know, what death really is and a healthy understanding we should carry about it. You know what I'm talking about? So let's go, y'all. Let's try to get people if you come in here, but again, I'm gonna leave y'all with this scenario, and I'm gonna try to remember to say it more than once for those who come in late or whatever. But this, from a human standpoint, it seems terrible. You know what I'm saying? From a human standpoint, we look at it like, damn, that's sad, you know. And what had to happen in order for humans to pay attention? You know, it had to be a situation such as this for a lot of people to even pay attention. That's how hard-headed people are, sad to say, or desensitized. So that I understand how as humans we like, man, that shit is ridiculous. And count it all joy that you aren't so desensitized to the point that you don't recognize this is a situation in which you should not be numb to, or this is a situation that you should recognize as a sad situation, you know what I'm saying? A situation that you should feel bad for, the desensitized with all these things that we got going on, like with all the deaths back to back, ever since 2020, you know what I'm saying? And before, for real, you know, we just mark things based on the more immediate events such as COVID, etc., you know what I'm saying? But truth be told, for a lot of us, we've been losing so many people back to back to the point we haven't even had a chance to, you know, properly assess these situations. So when it comes to, you know, people later on having triggered moments or lashing out, you know, I would encourage y'all to really just, you know, go back to the count to 10 before you make a decision. You feel me? Not count to 10 before you do anything, but count to 10 before you make a decision. Let's go back to that, because for a lot of us, we're becoming very irrational due to the pressures that we are under. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say that real quick. Make sure y'all subscribe, hit that like, and say what's up. The first little tidbit, you know, talking about death, you feel me? Really getting understanding of what the transition is.
It's one of the great wonders of life. What will it be like to go to sleep and never wake up?
Feel me? It ain't lost immediately. A like some people think.
Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose.
You will find out. It'll pose the next question to you. What was it like to wake up after having never gone to sleep? That was when you were born.
I started getting depressed. I thought, what kind of purpose do I have to live? I mean, are you just here to live, to die? I mean, is there not a purpose for me? Is there not a purpose in life?
And when you're ready to wake up, you're going to wake up. If you're not ready, you're going to stay pretending that you're just a poor little me.
I woke up and I suddenly got it. I suddenly felt, who is it that's aware that I'm thinking? And suddenly I was thrown into this expansive, amazing
So I gotta
feeling
ask yourself that's
of freedom.
like, who is it?
You suddenly see that there
Who
isn't
am
a
I?
grain of dust in the whole universe that's in the wrong place. But you understand completely, absolutely, totally what it's all about. The experience you are having, which you call ordinary everyday consciousness, pretending you're not it, that experience is exactly the same thing as it. There's no difference at all.
There ain't no difference.
I saw that I was bigger than what I do. I was bigger than my body. I was everything and everyone.
Take us through it. What happens to you as you find yourself submerged underwater?
Well, I was submerged, and the force of the water had me absolutely pinned to the boat.
This is while you're under the water with no air, with you can't breathe, you're completely submerged.
And at that time, I gave my life over to God and truly and sincerely asked that God's will be done. And at that moment, everything changed. I was very calm and peaceful and felt great. And I had this very physical sense of being held and comforted and reassured that everything would be fine, regardless of whether I lived or died.
Because you know you more than that at that point.
I was no longer a fragment of the universe. I was the universe.
Everybody is fundamentally the ultimate reality, the deep down basic whatever there is, and you're all that, only you're pretending you're not. Now I understand why we die. The reason we die is to give us the opportunity to understand what life's all about. Laugh yourself silly.
Yeah, think about that shit like, dang, the only reason why we die is just so we can understand what life was all about. You know?
Hey guys, welcome to Forward. We're a new type
Some of us, these are thoughts or things that we just don't think about. But today I want to encourage y'all to think about these things so death doesn't seem so frightening. You know what I mean? Mix it up here. Like I said, let's think about this. On this side, it looked like, you know, you went out the way you went out to the humans, you feel me? But on the other side, it's like you just came through the door and you just came home. But they see you down there every time you go to sleep. And they see you all the time, for real, for real. You know, some people say, how we know our ancestors ain't looking at us like, okay, I'd be glad when they recognize what life really is, because they're not even living.
body moves a little bit. This has happened again and again, many, many.
So where is this life in our body? Is it in our brain, our heart? And what is this life?
Let's keep going.
Is it in the spine or is it in...
Where people get terrified because a dead body moves a little bit. This has happened again and again, many, many times. When he's been medically declared dead, there are twitchings in the body that happen. 5 basic forms. These are called pranavayu, samanavayu, apanavayu, udanavayu and vyana. These have different functions. Doctors may know, maybe doctors don't do it. The people who work in the hospitals may know. Carrying a live person and a dead person, there's a big difference. The pranavayu depletes. Your respiratory action will go away. So immediately doctor checks and says, he's dead.
Sadhguru, you said about life, and that brings a big question what doctors have about life. Now they say we have 1 trillion cells in our body, and each of these cells is living by itself. And when you say a patient is no more, it's just that the brain dies after 2 or 3 minutes, but still a large part of his body is still alive. So, and these cells, even when after the patient is dead, you take these cells and put in a culture.
Those of you who are all shaving every day, even after you're dead, we still have to shave you, you know this?
Yeah, the hair grows.
That is why I'm ready, you know.
Yeah, but so what dies when we die? So that brings the question, what leaves us? So where is this life in our body? Is it in our brain, our heart? And what is this life you're talking? Is it in the spine or is it in… where does it reside?
There's so many living people, you can ask them. Where are they? I think the religious beliefs have totally screwed up human mind so badly. Wait. That people cannot even know what's happening within themselves. They know the geography of heaven. Hello? So, people know what is the geography of heaven, where is God sitting, you know, how many children he has, when is his birthday, everything they know. How come they don't know where is their life? Isn't it ridiculous? Hello?
Because we were told, Swami, about the birthday of gods, but nobody is telling us where is our life and what is
You are life, aren't you?
Yes, of course.
I hear 4 people, but I'm asking all of you. Your life?
Yes.
You must show some sign. So, if you are life, I'm asking, are you really life?
Yes.
So, how come we know so many things and we don't know what is the nature of our life? Now, you asked why if somebody is dead, still some of the cells are active. As I said, dead bodies are given a shave up to 10–11 days. Why this is so? What we're calling as life physically is a mechanism on many different levels. There is hardware and there is software. You are core of hardware, bones. The software is equally important. Otherwise, how would a cell know that it's a human cell? It is not a pig cell or a tree cell or something else. How does it know? Because there's an entire software. There is memory, evolutionary memory, genetic memory, karmic memory. There are varieties of memories imposed on every cell in the system so that it never gets confused. If you eat dog food for 3 days, you will not become a dog, isn't it? Because the memory is entrenched in this. So there is a whole software. The software package is actually bigger than the hardware, much bigger. And it is energized by what we are considering as a life force. In yoga, we call this prana. It manifests itself in 5 basic dimensions. There are other forms to it, which gets to come. 5 basic forms. These are called pranavayu, samanavayu, apanavayu, udanavayu and vyana. These have different functions. Prana is related to breath, respiratory action and thought process. If the pranavayu depletes, your respiratory action will go away. So immediately doctor checks and says, he's dead. They'll try to pump their chest. If he doesn't come back, he's dead. Respiration and your pulmonary action are very directly connected. Once the respiration stops, that process will naturally come to an end. So pranavayu is gone. It's not like one after another they will go. They will go at the same time, but one goes means this is gone. If samanavayu goes, this is in charge of generating heat in the system. So once samanavayu starts receding, the body starts getting cold and it also starts becoming special. Once apanavayu starts receding in a major way, then the sensory aspect of it, we must understand this. You may check somebody's breath and declare them dead, but they can still feel sensations. There have been any number of cases where people get terrified because the dead body moves a little bit. Again, many times, that when he's been medically declared dead, there are twitchings in the body that happen in a very mild way because the sensory activity is still on. Still,
I remember seeing that twitching.
life is not fully convinced that it's finished. It's still making an effort of its own. When udhanavayu goes away, then the buoyancy is gone. When I say buoyancy, see, you may weigh 70 or 80 or whatever number of… I'm sorry, maybe you weigh 50 or 55 kilograms. I don't want the ladies to get… Whatever is your weight, you don't… Let's say you're very happy and alive right now, you don't have 50 kilograms on you, isn't it? Hello? Yeah. It is there. If you stand on the scale, it is there. But when you walk, it is not there, simply because this udhana creates a buoyancy. It makes you less available to gravity. There are yogic practices to activate this. There's a whole school of Udan in China, where you might have seen those movies, Hollywood movies, what is that? Crouching Tiger or something. What? Yeah.
So family, what we doing this morning, we getting to it, you feel me? Like, on this side, it looked like, you know, bruh just got did bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I want y'all to understand, in order to transcend where we are and where we been, we gotta choose to think different than what we've been doing. So in order to think different, I need for y'all to go from, you know, us being on the ground with this shit to having an aerial view. You know what I'm saying? The shit that you would see if you was gliding over this shit, or, you know, for those who take flights, you know, the energy, applying us with this angelic energy that was flowing through our brother Dolph, that was flowing through the many sisters that we lost, the many brothers that we done lost, you know. So in order to keep that energy going, family, I need for us to, you know, take this time to what that energy really was. Hit that like button so other people can get in here. If you new around here, hit that subscribe, drop a comment, say what's up. This is my way of saying what's up to y'all. Recognize a lot of people's hearts is heavy, and rather than play this fear-mongering game, you know, whereas people keep talking about the many lives that's being lost as a result of the life that was lost, you feel me? I would rather encourage my people and let y'all know that, like, at the end of the day, there's light at the end of the tunnel. And when we come to talking about death, there's more that we need to understand that comprises what we call death, you know. Let's take the fear out of death. Take the fear out of death. We gotta understand what death really is. So we doing cross references, you know what I'm saying? Doing comparisons from different cultures where each of us understood death to be from our ancestors, you know, people that passed this on, and each one of us is learning different things about the lives that we live in and the transitions based on, you know, what's been left behind. But one thing I can tell y'all, you know, if there is a chance that we come back and recycle, I would encourage you to do everything you can in this cycle to make sure that when you come back, this will be your heaven rather than your hell, based on what you didn't do. So now you know, therefore it ain't none of that left behind for you because you didn't leave it behind for you. So like I said, make sure y'all hit that like button. We're gonna keep going on understanding what death really is. You feel me? And at the same time, we're gonna appreciate life. Let's take this time to appreciate the time that we had with the life that was young Dolph, Adolf. Let's take this time to appreciate the life that we had with King D, that was Darren Seals. You feel me? These angelic figures, these people who gave their lives for those they love. Let's take the time to understand what that really is and why we should appreciate it. So then, therefore, just like, you know, with the Christ story, we can appreciate the Christ that we see around us on a daily basis as well. Cultivate the Christ within us. You know, that loving nature, that free flowing energy that everybody needs and everybody has, absent of outside, you know, entities trying to make us, you know, come out of ourselves and be triggered to do things based on trauma and create adult drama. You feel me? So that being said, family, let's go into it. Let's talk about what this stuff really is. You feel me?
Some light on that. You know, we have heard about this, that men should get out of this cycle of life and birth. Can you throw some light on that?
So,
He asked, do you know
getting
about
into the cycle of birth and death, I always insist that you don't believe anything that is not yet your experience. It doesn't matter who says it. This does not mean disbelief. No, you don't know, that's all. Somebody tells you a story, you don't know whether it's true or it's not true. So even if I say something, don't believe this nonsense. But don't
y'all hear that? It's like, if you ain't experienced that shit in your existence, don't just take other people's word for it. Don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because whatever you believe will become your reality. Straight up. Whatever you believe will become your reality.
see somebody is willing to sit in front of this many people and talk absolute nonsense, something that is totally absurd. Let me see what this is about. If you keep that much openness, the possibilities are alive in your life. If you believe it, you'll kill it. If you disbelieve it, you will kill it. You understand? Death exists. Have you ever died, anyway? Did you ever? No. Did you ever see a dead man? You did. Where, Pooja? Where did you see a dead man? Funeral, you saw dead men? Dead bodies you saw. Did you see a dead man? Did you? No, you did not see a dead man. You haven't experienced it. You haven't seen it. Or did you meet anybody who died and came back and told you, I died like this? No. You haven't died. You haven't seen one, nor have you met one. So from where the hell did you get this idea that you will die? Death is a fiction that too many people talked and made you believe. There is no such thing as death. There is only life, life and life alone, moving from one dimension to another, another dimension to another. So, when the physical body becomes too feeble or breaks up for some reason, either you crashed your car, or you drank too much and broke your liver, or you fell out of love and broke your heart, or You just became too old and feeble. When the body becomes unsuitable to sustain life for some reason, something is broken or something has become too weak to sustain. When the body becomes unsuitable to sustain life, life has to move on. So it does. So when you say somebody is no more, you're only saying they're no more with us. You're not saying they're no more, really no more. They're just no more with you, the way you knew them. So, when one leaves the body, for whatever reason, the fundamental reason is the physical body has become unsuitable to sustain and nourish life. When this happens, what will happen to that being? The physical body and the conscious mind goes. The discriminatory aspect of his mind is gone. The content of his mind is not gone. Understand what I'm saying? The discriminatory choices are gone, but the content of his mind is not gone. So he still has the qualities, but he has no discrimination. So one thing that you need to understand is, when somebody dies, as you know death today, it doesn't matter he happens to be your father, your mother, your husband, your wife, your child, how dear a friend he was, it doesn't matter. The moment he leaves the body, he's got nothing to do with you. Because everything that he knew about you is physical, isn't it? When I say physical, not just of the body, of the mind and emotion. All that you know about that person and all that that person knows about you is either physical body or mind or emotion. All these things belong to the sphere of the physical. So when he leaves the physical, all the things are gone and there is nothing like me and my father, dead father. Once he's dead, he's not your father. He's over. So now, once the discriminatory mind is gone, he will only proceed according to his tendencies. This is the reason in India so much significance is given as to how a person dies, so that we can set up some kind of orientation to the tendencies with which he will flow. It doesn't matter how he lived, when the last moment comes, we'll say Ram Nam on this one and that one, whatever people know. But fundamentally the idea is to create some sense of awareness that he doesn't die in fear and greed and whatever else. Because that final moment of transition tends to become his quality in a big way. It becomes one of the major tendencies of his further progression.
Wow, now that's deep. He basically saying like, be careful the tendencies. Like I always try to, encourage my people for this main reason, you feel me? Be careful the tendencies in which you develop in this lifetime, how you feel about shit, because it's these same tendencies that will determine your afterlife, the type of energy you will be. That's why a lot of times people be trying to make sure somebody had somebody there with them before they died to comfort them, and that's why a lot of times we be feeling away when we not allowed to comfort, the person that we love, you know what I'm saying? Even when we see that it's, it's a situation where, it's nothing we can do about it. But I encourage a lot of my people to, the door openers, those who feel a way about this shit, to do something about it, because the only thing we can do is become like first responders, get the proper skillage in order to, be able to help each other, because a lot of times, these people still be in that body, or that spirit still be around to where that person could continue to exist. But look how we, look how we living, look how we living. These people don't want to come back and deal with this. And in certain instances, they don't have the energy, the synergy around them in order for them to bounce back, so it's just something we need to really get a grasp on, so we can figure out how to calibrate the proper responses for us to, you know, make the corrections that's necessary, bro. Because I feel like a lot of times, too often, you know, our people go out and they feel like, you know, they by themselves. And I know they were by themselves because of the way society does everybody else. So I know, shoot, they did them the same way. Left them on the ground, you know, for hours until they passed away feeling lonely. You know what I'm saying? All the while, we finding out, you know, it's important to make sure these people had a tendency to feel like they was loved. Otherwise, the way they end it would be the tendencies that they develop or the way that they move in the afterlife. So they'll be a low energy, you know what I'm saying, if they felt low when they passed away. And they'll become a person that come around and drain shit, you feel me? Person that come around and kill shit. Also, a lot of people don't talk about these telluric grids. Let me try to get that word for y'all. But basically, it's like the area in which somebody passes away in. If, you know, that area isn't respected. Dang, how do you say that shit? Telluric grid. Like, when somebody passes away, there's an energy and a signature that's right there from, you know, what happened and what transpired until, you know, time goes by to where that energy dissipates. But then everybody else is just moving in that circle of that, you know, that energy form. So it would be best that, you know, we do like, you know, some people do in the hood. They put the teddy bears up, put the mirrors up so nobody goes in that area. And, you know, we keep it as a sacred space, you know what I mean? Because these are sacred spaces. Our people are still working out different things within themselves. So if we don't protect these certain spaces, then it becomes harder for them to transition. And like I said, they develop tendencies based on how they went out. I'm grateful the work is already done because of what I've overcome. And more rewards are soon to come because of life's obstacles I triumph.
You can try this with your sleep tonight. That final moment when you're moving from wakefulness to sleep. That final moment when you're transiting from wakefulness to sleep. That last moment. If you can simply be aware, see if you can. But you will see, if you try to be aware, you will be awake. Only when you lose your awareness, you'll fall asleep. If you can manage awareness, something tremendous will happen. If that is not possible, at least try to bring some quality to the last few moments of your falling asleep. Let's say you make it very loving within yourself, or you make it very happy within yourself. You will see that quality will continue through the sleep. Always. If you can bring that some quality to the last moment of transition from wakefulness to sleep, that quality will continue. That's exactly what will happen with death also.
I'm telling you, I
the final
be
moment
careful.
a certain quality is brought in, then that quality will continue. It is because of this understanding. You know, in India, when people want to die, they don't want to die in Mumbai. They want to go to Varanasi and die. You know, still people go. There used to be a major, Varanasi is a death place. People used to go there, in lakhs of people used to go there just to wait and die. Because for centuries, this has been one place which was concentrated with any number of enlightened beings. Not anymore. But it used to be a center. So people thought if they go there and die, there was always help coming. They could die in a right kind of condition. So, this cycle, suppose the body broke because of some reason, the life energy is still vibrant. And the life energies are still vibrant. If the body breaks, either because you shot yourself, or you crashed yourself, or you drank yourself to death, or whatever, life energy, unless it becomes feeble, he cannot find another body. If you have to leave this body, your energy should become feeble. If you have to enter another body, your energies have to become feeble. This is what is referred to as samadhi, where you...
And he's basically saying, like, in order to even transition, your energy gotta become feeble. So, like, you know, we was talking about earlier, like, let's take it from the aerial. Let's take it from being on the ground with this shit to the aerial view. You know, as much as it's a sad occurrence, the way that life actually dissipates to the humans, you know, to the gods, to the people on the other side, you know, that's a totally different thing. It's almost as simple as you walking through a door. You know what I'm saying? But depending on how you transition, you gonna walk through that door with an attitude potentially. You feel me? Everybody in the next life gonna be like, this nigga low energy. You know what I'm saying? Low vibration. They gonna try to work with you. You know what I'm saying? They gonna try to work you through the process. But let's not get it twisted how we get there. You know, it's because of the way that a lot of us go out. You know, and a lot of us don't go out in old age. Where it's still like, you know, the body hasn't been allowed to become feeble naturally. You know what I'm saying? Versus, you know, the body being thrust into, you know, now you're feeble immediately. You know what I'm saying? Them bullets hit you or sickness hit you and break you down. That's what we talking about.
Consciously lower the intensity of your life energy, you become so feeble that you can slip out of your body if you wish. And you can slip into something else.
And also to help people with that, you know, that's empaths like myself with the fear, you know. Another thing to think about, a lot of people that I talk to when it comes to being shot, they talk about a burning sensation, you know. But the majority of them talk about how, shoot, a lot of the pain, they couldn't, like, they get to a certain threshold, they couldn't even feel shit. So you can imagine when somebody gets shot to a point they dead, you know what I'm saying? They don't even, bruh. The beauty of this body is like, okay, we got the 60-40 rule. You know, when the body feel like you about to overexert yourself, in order to keep you from taking yourself out, your body will tell you don't got no more energy, and it depletes you to a point where you can't keep doing that shit to take yourself out. Like, you can't just take yourself out like that, right? So, without knowing that's what you're doing anyway. It's the same thing with this life too, though. You know, when you get over 60% gone, you know, the energy that is you feel me, starts to prepare its transition. So as the rest of, you know, the depletion takes place, it's more or less just like slipping away in your sleep. Don't get me wrong, I know, you know, there's people that's been tortured and stuff like that. But even with that, a lot of these responses that they give are involuntary responses that, you know, any of us would give, given, you know, certain pressure points being triggered or, you know, touched, right?
Because your energies have become so...
No different than the body still moving after, you know, the person is so-called transition, you feel me? That's that little bit of prana, the electricity, the electromagnetism that is us, you feel me? That creates the etheric fire in our gut. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's really understand what we are. You feel me? Because then you'll recognize there's no fear in death. So you gotta live your life and be that example. Otherwise, it won't be a sacrifice when you pass. The sacrifice is the way you lived your life. So you already know in death how you gonna be represented. So for those who scared of how they gonna go out, the only thing I can tell you is, the only thing you can control is what you was doing before you went out. You know what I'm saying? By the way you live now. Those tendencies. So, you know, I send up positive energy to my brother Dolph. I see him in high regards to my brother Darren Seals, so they don't have to live a life of hell because they were triggered by somebody else who wished them, you know, who wished them evil, you know? And that's why it's like, it's important that we got to develop this God-like mind. So when we do come to this time where it's time for us to transition, we don't stay in that human mind to where now we're tormented by the way we went out. See what I'm saying? I'm thankful my brothers made it out. And I'm also thankful in the way that they made it out, the lessons that they left for us, and the ways that they paid for the ones that's left behind. So, you know, it's just like all the rest of the figures that came and set great examples. If you don't learn from the lesson, then it's your loss for real. You know what I'm saying? But if you understand the lessons, it's no loss. You know, so often, in order to understand what people have brought to the table, they actually got to stop for you to really see their body of work. You see what I'm saying? But when people just keep on coming with an onslaught of love and potential and putting forward possibilities for everybody, you know, for a lot of people, you get used to that. And then when it's gone, you really miss it. And then you can appreciate, for some of us, the moments. That's what you go for doing. You appreciate those moments. So when sadness come up on you, you say, nah, I got too many moments with my fam. I got too many good moments for me to be down. Obviously, bro ain't want me to feel like that, because this how he made me feel when he was here. This how she made me feel when she was here. So let me pick myself up for them. You feel me? And recognize when you do feel that energy, that is them, those memories. That's them. They there trying to encourage you. They there trying to tell you, I remember them moments. Like my mom used to tell me, as sure as you thinking about somebody so intensely, they thinking about you too.
People, they don't have the vibrance of normal existence. This could go on and on and on, simply because, not because you are under some punishment or reward. It is just nature, just finding its own cycle. So when certain awareness arises within you, not because you read something, somewhere you begin to feel the meaninglessness of the cycle. It's all nice, we're enjoying it, but just going on and on and on doesn't make sense. When that awareness comes, that is when you start talking about mukti. Mukti means you want to become free from the process of life and death.
Oh, we. See, so a lot of us, we still so stuck on this life, you ain't got tired of it yet. You ain't got tired of it yet. At least from the understanding that you've been living in this life in. You feel me? You got different dimensions. You know, where it's like the first dimension, just understanding existence. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? The second dimension, understand times with, you feel me? The third dimension, you know, and so on and so on. The understandings grow. No different than, you know, children understand sex to a certain extent. They understand this a girl and that's a boy. That's all. You feel me? Not the whole intercourse, but they understand different sexes, male and female. You know what I'm saying? So in essence, you know, the people still here. They just not vibrating at the level of this physical matter that we exist in.
Not because you're suffering. Suffering people cannot attain mukti. You are fine, you are joyful. But
Oh man, Spirit telling me like, and make sure we come right when we come to our people. Like, raise your spirits before you connect with your people. Don't be so down all the time, because, you know, you come with a low energy. You feel me? And in order for these people to connect with you, for some of them, they're gonna have to get down to your level. And why would they? You know, when they doing that shadow work, or they did the shadow work to be on a certain level on the other side. So I would encourage y'all to, you know, get your mind right before you go. You know, that's why we talking about having an aerial understanding or a full spectrum understanding, a God understanding, versus being, you know, just a child of understanding, period. You feel me? But it's not until you get tired of this existence that you really look outside the box and start understanding and appreciating the transitions. We don't die, we go from life to life.
you have had enough of the kindergarten, you want to move on. However beautiful your school life was, don't you want to go to college? Yes. That's all. You have seen enough of it. Now you want to move on. So, this being, whatever you call as this, me right now, you can, I always use negative terminology so that your imaginations don't fly away. So let's say your emptiness or your darkness. Because if I say light, then you'll not start shining all over the place. If I say God, then you'll start doing funny things. This empty darkness that you are, you can't imagine much about darkness, isn't it? You wouldn't like to talk to anybody in darkness. But if I say you're light, immediately you would like to go and tell your neighbor, I am divine light. So we always use negative terminology so that your imagination doesn't fly off and make you very hallucinatory. So this empty space within you is like a bubble. Karma is the wall of the bubble. Without karmic substance, you have no existence. Karma is not your enemy. It's only because of karmic substance you are glued to the body. If all your karma is removed, you cannot be held in the body. So it is a bubble. Even though you slip out of the physical body, this bubble is on. And once it loses its vibrance, it will find another body, naturally. So we want to prick the bubble right now. When you say, I want mukti, what you're saying is you want to prick the bubble in such a way that this emptiness which is enclosed within the bubble bursts, and let's say we blow bubbles here now, lots of bubbles. But the moment they burst, the air inside the bubble, where did it go? It's part of everything. So, mukti means just that. Enlightenment also means the same thing. If you are not aware of this already, for most beings their moment of enlightenment and their moment of leaving the body is always same. Just a few who know the tricks of the body, who know the…
Shit, if you don't know, you gon' know. You feel me? When you leave that body, they said for a lot of people, they moment of truth and leaving the body is the same thing. Like, so you can understand, that's gotta be a moment of comfort. You know what I'm saying? When people be like, I felt like I was resting in heaven. You feel me? That's gotta be that moment of comfort. So I appreciate knowing that, you know, that's what's waiting on you. Your truth. Also, I want to encourage y'all to, you know, do what you feel like you came to do, because what else is waiting on you is, you know, you having to sit there and face your, having to sit there and face the fact that, you know, there was things that you felt like you should have did that you didn't do, you know? And for a lot of us, you know, we just been put under this old programming and we don't understand why it's important to make these changes before our time comes, you know? For a lot of people, it's like, man, I can't understand why this person was so giving, why they was doing this before they, like, why he had to pass doing that. When truth be told, they wouldn't have had it no other way. The people you asking why they had to be doing that. Why did they have to go out like that? They wouldn't have had it no other way, because, honestly speaking, they wanted to be there for their people. They wanted to be doing what they was doing. Not to mention, they was doing what was necessary to get what was on them off of them too. See, a lot of us, we might not have did nothing in this lifetime, but here it is, we got other people who we was brought here through. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention, we got our own things to learn. Like, so the complexity of life is just, it's a beautiful picture. And it's too beautiful for us to hang a hat on one instance and say, dang, if this wouldn't have happened, then this wouldn't have happened. No. Each one of us have a beautiful story that won't nobody be able to behold until it's over, until we go. And I'm just thankful enough to be able to say, man, dang, I appreciate this story right here, and I appreciate the life that was and that is. See what I'm saying? It's just You got to be able to appreciate all levels of existence in order to still appreciate that person. You know, and for a lot of us, we only appreciate what a motherfucker do for us. So we can only appreciate people when they in the form where they can do for us. But truth be told, shit, you got real love for your people, they can still do for you on this side. I mean, on the other side. And you can still do for them on this side. So let's talk about the ways that we can connect with our people. You know, let's jump in the comments. Let's talk about that. Like, for those who wonder, like, can you still connect with those that you love and how? Let's get in the comments. You know, for those who know, you drop some comments on how you connect. You know, I know for me, I got my altar. And right now I have like the matriarchs on the altar, you know what I'm saying, of the family. So therefore, you know, everybody's somewhat represented in that, so to speak. But be that as it may, there's ways that you can talk with these people, these family members, these people that touch their heart throughout their lives, and you know, it'll help both of y'all through this. You know, one of the ways that I know to help somebody transition is to picture them with like a Doberman, a dog, and they got them on the chain, and what they doing is they walking that dog through the door. So again, we got to keep picturing them walking through that door, or picture them walking through that door and release them. And at that point, talk to them from that standpoint. Don't keep talking to them from the standpoint, I wish you was still here. Because truth be told, when they get on the other side, they remember you. And when they get on the other side, they can remember you, but the roles and responsibilities that they once held, they don't hold no more. So they'll get tired of your motherfucking ass keep talking to them about, I miss you, why you had to leave me?
Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled.
If you want to be healed from what you're going through, assume that feeling. Be happy. Be happy for the transition of life. Be happy for the homegoing celebration. Be happy. Because you one day will be freed from this. Don't you want to be free?
You must assume that you already are what you want to be, and then live by faith in this assumption. The feeling of the wish fulfilled. So whatever it is that you would like to experience in your life, remember, your imagination is yours. Everything that now exists was once imagined. Therefore, everything that
The work is already done because what I will come. My rewards is soon to come.
is going to exist must first be imagined. Henry David Thoreau had probably the greatest definition of success that I have ever heard. He said, if you advance confidently in the direction of your own dreams and endeavor...
You hear that? Advance confidently in the direction of your own dreams. Don't even play. Don't even play. I mean, vet everything. Like, is this worth me doing right now? Is this going in a direction that I don't got time to waste? Feel me? Appreciate you, Dolph, for the life you live that led us here to be having these conversations. Appreciate you, and I appreciate your presence now.
Which you have imagined, you will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. It will chase after you if you can place into your imagination what it is that you would like to attract and begin to feel it. That which you feel yourself to be, you are. And you are given that which you are. So assume the feeling that would be yours were you already in possession of your wish. And your wish must be realized. So live in the feeling of being the one you want to be, and that you shall be. Every
feeling makes a subconscious impression. And unless it is counteracted by a more powerful feeling of an opposite nature, it must be expressed. Your feelings are different from your thoughts. Your feelings are what you experience in your body. The dominant of two feelings is the one expressed. Every feeling that you have makes a subconscious impression upon your body and upon your awareness. Now, you need to understand the subconscious mind of yours. Your subconscious mind rules your life. 96 to 97% of everything that you do is done as a result of your subconscious mind. And when your subconscious mind gets programmed, it goes ahead and responds to whatever it is your conscious mind has placed into it. The subconscious mind is most impacted by your feelings. A change of feeling is a change of destiny. A change of feeling
is the change in
destiny.
Come on, bro.
Write it down. Stick it on the wall.
Don't get so caught in no feeling you can't change your damn feeling.
I look at that all the time. I want to practice.
Then tell me you want to change
into
your life.
My subconscious mind the assumption of the feeling of what it is that I would like to attract into my life as if it already existed, and to feel it, not just to think it, but to feel it. If this assumption about what you would like to become is persisted in until it becomes your dominant feeling, the attainment of your ideal is absolutely inevitable. You must first assume the feeling of a wish fulfilled in all aspects of your life. So you have to say to yourself, what does it feel like to be prosperous? What does it feel like to be content? What does it feel like to be well? You have to.
Yeah, you gotta ask yourself now. That's like shit. The homie told me one time, he's like, bro, you talking about you want this money, but what you gonna do with that money? Like, have you even planned out what to do with the money? Like, you're not prepared for it. You know? Not to mention, when y'all consider yourself being successful, you gotta ask yourself, what would I look like when I'm successful? What I feel like when I'm successful? And stand on that shit. Like, stand on that shit. Because at the end of the day, the people we keep looking to and the people that keep giving us these inspirations and telling us just this. Stand on what you believe in. And at the end of the day, watch, you're going to be celebrated for that shit. These people being themselves. And they make it. Because why? We appreciate people being themselves. And we can tell. We can see you naked. We can see you when you being you and when you make it to that point where you cool with being you. And I want to tell you now, if don't nobody tell you, I appreciate you. Thank you for being you. And continue to be just that. Continue to be just that. That's what we need. For you to be you. And to continue to be just that. Shout out to the bro Kurt. Y'all go subscribe to his channel, Belief Records. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you what it is and what it really means. A hard drop, but it's a route to make out means. Young alchemist, young Malcolm X, I'm the truth, no matter what the outcome is. Let me tell you how they poison us, call it Hennessy. Better pay attention to the enemy, better known as white supremacy. Let me tell you, should be repercussions at inauguration, since they ain't discussing mass incarceration. Brothers locked up all across the nation now. Don't let them tell you when you had a right to remain silent. They give you time when you fight with tyrants or any crime that's non-violent. They love to tell you how we are when we get violent, but they never tell you what we get by when we don't trust badges or believe in sirens. Now let me tell you, when it come to jail, you know they proud investors. But let me ask you how the drug dealers get more time than the child molesters. Let me tell you, or show your ass what they didn't show. How the Black Panthers and the civil rights got destroyed by COINTELPRO. Let me tell you, when the verdict crazy, we commit arson. 50 years after civil rights, so why the fuck is we still marching? I ain't fooled by the news, don't let it get to me. Don't let them tell you about your history, because they want the truth to be a mystery. Now, let me tell you, I'm on fire just like a furnace. Modern Nat Turner, that'll keep a burner for any races that want to turn up. Now let me ask you, why state troopers shoot like state hoopers when a black man is the true ruler? Bitch, I'm King Cooper, make some massive moves. Now let me tell you, the haters speaking through hand gestures. Tell the man and tell the clan, I ain't going out like my ancestors. Let me tell you, I ain't never like that soldier. We done fought battle and lost battles, but I ain't stopping till the war's over. Let me tell you, they love to treat us like we not a factor. Had our fight away through disaster, so damn right, Black lives. Let me tell you, paving, leaving people in amazing black hoodie on just to make a statement. Let me tell you, man.